Hey y'all, NK here and welcome back to the Cookery. Today I am actually super excited for this one. We are going to be making some breakfast garlic herb potatoes. Now I've been to like the original pancake house and I've ordered their potatoes there, and it's kind of very similar to the one we're going to make today. Hopefully it'll taste the same if my memory comes into play, but these obviously are going to look so good, hopefully if we get it right. And it's actually not a lot of ingredients, but it's actually a pretty long process. So let's hope for the best and let's get right to it. Alright, so the first step, I'm actually going to explain what I have here, but the first step of making these potatoes, we're going to actually boil them first. So I obviously cut them into large chunks. This right here was about four Idaho potatoes. The recipe originally calls for 13 russet potatoes, so you know, I cut them in half, but even then these are actually pretty big and the ingredients are obviously not a lot, so I'm just going to stick with 4 pretty big Idaho potatoes. So the main components of this recipe are obviously the garlic and the herbs. So I actually have rosemary here. You can use either rosemary or thyme. The link will be down in the description, but I think I'm a bigger fan of rosemary. So as my water is boiling over there, we are going to head over there and then kind of get through the first step. This is a long process of a lot of just waiting, but let's see how it goes. Alright, so as my pot of water is boiling over here, I'm going to go over what we're first going to need. So obviously we're going to need all our potatoes, as obviously kind of right there. The recipe states that you want to cut it in large chunks, so that's what I did. And you want to leave the skins on, which I actually kind of prefer, especially if you're having some breakfast potatoes. I like the skins, so that's also a bonus. And now I'm actually going to add my baking soda and salt over there. So let's start doing that. And there we go. And as that kind of starts to simmer, I'm actually going to add my potatoes as well and then let it boil for about 10 minutes. Alright y'all, so now that my potatoes are done boiling, I drained them and now they're just sitting in a pot. And so I'm actually going to make the actual dressing. So I added 3 tablespoons of olive oil in there already. And I'm going to actually start the boil now, I think. To start it getting boiled. So I have it at medium right now, and I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon of rosemary here. So that's that, and then I'm actually going to add also my half a teaspoon of pepper, and then also 1 tablespoon of minced garlic right in there. Alright y'all, so I have my strainer just propped up right there, and I'm going to add this, my mixture of my herbs and garlic, right onto it, so it can easily strain. That was actually kind of fast, so I'm gonna finally make sure everything is out. I'm gonna strain all of it. And then I'm gonna actually stir this so that each one makes sure it has the oil. Alright y'all, so these are my potatoes here. I fanned them out on my pan, and now I'm going to hop them in the oven at 425 degrees, and then I'm actually going to flip them halfway between 70 minutes. So we're going to let it cook for 35 minutes and then flip them and then let them cook for another 35, and then we're actually going to see how it tastes. I have a really good feeling about this. Hopefully it tastes super good. I added a little sprinkle of salt and pepper just to make sure the flavor was still there. And now I'm going to put it in the oven and we'll have to wait 70 minutes. Alright y'all, so after waiting that much time, I now have my roasted kind of potatoes here. So they definitely turned out actually really well, I think. They definitely have that kind of crisp on the outside that I'm loving. I already added some Tabasco on top. You can use Tabasco, you can use ketchup, really any kind of dipping you want, or just eat them plain. But I already added Tabasco on mine, so I'm actually going to take a nice bite now. You can obviously tell that the layering or the skin of it actually has that really nice crisp now, so hopefully this tastes really good. No, yeah, that actually tasted really good for some reason. It was this beautiful, kind of crisp, not too hard, but not too soft. And it was this perfect crisp, and then the inside is really nice and soft for these, so it actually tasted really good. It just melted in my mouth. Not gonna lie, even though these are just basically potatoes with seasoning and everything, they tasted really good. Like, these are just some, I have more back there, but these actually tasted really good, and I'm definitely gonna make these again because they actually, like, they're super simple, but they're really good. Like, even though these are just potatoes, they're really, like, have a nice crunch, have a nice soft inside, and it's just really soft and actually really good. And the Tabasco really just hits the spot because there's like this huge spice now, and honestly it tastes just really good. So I actually really like this recipe. All right, y'all, that is it for this week's video. I cannot stop praising these potatoes enough. The Tabasco especially really like brought out the extra flavor, and that definitely made it taste even better. So I'm definitely making this again for sure. Definitely gonna share it, definitely gonna make sure people know about this recipe because it actually tastes really good for just some breakfast potatoes, and I really actually enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed watching, make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notifications every week for new videos. Also, make sure to like and comment down below any thoughts, suggestions, etc., and I will surely check them out. And until then, I will see you guys next week.